and welcome to Juicy Scoop. Hello, I am here with the dynamic comedic duo, the two beauties in my life.
Oh,
Brandy Howard, Julie Goldman. Welcome back to Juicy Scoop. It's been a minute. Had to accommodate your crazy schedule.
And the last time I was very, very, very wasted, and it was on stage.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Good old blackout drunk Brandy. You know what? That's just what I like to do at live shows.
You're still very funny, though. Still very funny. Still very well received. Speaking of shows, everybody, I only have a few left, and it'll be with Chris Frangiola, and we're going to Boston Thursday, the 17th of November, then Philly on Friday, the 18th, and then Saturday, November 19th, D.C. There's very, very few tickets left, so it looks like it'll be a complete sellout. Thank you. Okay, let's get into some Juicy Scoop. You guys, one of you bought that ticket in Altadena, and you are the lotto winners, but you still decided to come to Juicy Scoop. Yep. If you won the lottery and you found out this morning, would you guys still come and get your Juicy Scoop in?
I would, because I think about it sometimes when I can't sleep. I do the thing of what will I do if I win the lottery?
Yes.
And I have to go through with my family like, okay, this person's on a payment plan.
Right.
Because I'm not giving you a lump sum and having you come back in a year.
So glad you thought that out.
I think it all the way through. And one of the main things, and this was advice given to me by my friend Dave, keep it secret for 1 year. So when you win, you keep it secret from everyone for a year. For whatever reason, I just like that. So I would continue on.
Oh, okay. So we don't know. You guys, it's possible.
I mean, it could be.
Because right now, we're recording this Monday afternoon about 11. It's now it's 2 billion? No. I thought it was less than that.
I thought it was 1.7.
I thought it was 1.9, but I guess it's $2.04 billion.
And they have the person. They have the ticket, or they have the person. I know they have the ticket because it was at that gas station in like Altadena. And they already spoke to the owner because he gets like $1 million bonus because he sold the ticket. So great for him.
There was a list of other people too. If you have one number, two numbers, three numbers, there are people around the country have won some money.
Oh, so, okay.
And they did last time too.
And they did last time too.
Now, what is this whole theorism thing where they were doing the Powerball and she goes, good night, and then did you see that? But it was really being done in the morning?
Yeah, well, we were awake because we have a drinking problem.
Oh,
and it got postponed, the drawing. And so we went into a hole with the rest of the people that were still awake because we had to go around, and there were lots of people still awake who were like, wait, the drawing was postponed? It wasn't live. Every drawing for the last, since it was 515 million, it keeps raising, right?
Right.
Every single drawing has been postponed and not live. They haven't done one single live drawing. So they drew the balls in private and then posted them hours later at like 6 a.m. So the video was just staged. I mean, it wasn't real.
Okay.
And that's weird. It's supposed to be a live drawing where the balls aren't weighted and the numbers aren't like put into the computer.
Right.
It's completely shady. So then we're awakened on every platform.
And also it's on voting day, which is weird.
Even
Very
weirder.
Weird.
Yeah.
The YouTube of it all is quite good. There's a guy wearing a full ski mask with a headset like, I don't know what's going on out there. Like they're like, we're waiting, and like there's people talking like there's a whole nighttime world of the lottery that you don't even know about.
Yeah.
And like on headsets and talking to each other like, bruh, I'm like, what that? Like it's a lot.
The last biggest jackpot was in 2016.
Yes.
Okay, that was over $1 billion. Same thing. The drawing was postponed. It wasn't live, and this woman on TikTok at the time said, "This is weird. The person who won never came forward. The money was paid into a trust called Zeus Trust." And she put this whole thing together on TikTok in 2 minutes that turns out Jeffrey Epstein's trust is called Zeus Trust. And she's like, Jeffrey Epstein won the lottery, bitches. And we were like, single tear. I mean, I'm like, we should get...
Wait, do you really think that's true?
Yeah. I mean, the way she did it, and it was on TikTok, and it's quick, because none of these people...
And where is that girl today?
Exactly.
Well, Tia, is that her name? Wait, who's the girl? What's the girl one of the twins that used to be on The Real?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is it?
One of them, they're twins. Anyway, she was stopped at TMZ and they were like just asking her, what does she think about the lottery? And she's like, when I was on The Real, we studied a lot. We talked a lot about lottery winners. And there's so many lottery winners that go missing.
Oh, wow.
Like after they've won.
That's
and
right.
yes.
That's why I keep it secret.
Keep it secret.
There's like I would recommend the top 5 biggest lottery scams on YouTube. Riveting. I mean, you'll see like.
I'm also like, how do you get your money? You're like, are they going to Zell me? What are we going to do?
Exactly.
I mean, it's beyond like, I mean, allegedly, in our opinion, rigged at this point.
Yep.
Like,
this is speaking of billionaires. Melinda Gates.
Oh.
She is dating a new guy. So she's out. She's dating. Did you guys see that new show that was like about her called Loot?
I didn't know that was about
Maya
her.
Rudolph?
Yes.
I didn't know that
it
was
was
about her
kind
either.
of like a parody of what her life would be like if she caught her husband cheating and they broke up and she was still got to be so rich because she didn't have. I watched the first 2 episodes on the plane and I thought the pilot was so fun and brilliant. But then the second episode, she starts to like get a heart and work with her charity. And now I'm like not interested.
I thought that was maybe about Jeff Bezos' wife too, because she got all into charity.
Oh, I think it was a combo
Okay.
of both of them.
So is her guy good looking? Or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wonderful. Oh, what a
You know
wonderful
what?
couple.
Wait, this was okay, you guys. If you're not watching this on YouTube, this was the photo that was like this weird photoshopped photo that they did on TMZ of her with some gray-haired guy that looks like 55 or something. So then I had Annie just replace it with Peter, and then I sent it just like this to Drake. And I'm like, oh my God, this is, this was just sent to me. And he's like, who said he thought it was a joke? And I go, it's not a joke. It's on the TMZ page. And I'm like, I'm just imagining he's like in class. Like, he should be fucking studying. And I'm like, I want to know, they said they met at a golf course. Were you with Dad? Do you ever remember seeing this woman? And then I'm like, but you know what? As a selfless mother, I'm so happy for you. Like, go, Peter, go marry this billionaire. You guys can golf everywhere. You don't have to do my YouTube for me. I'm not going to be bothering you while you're in class with this dumb shit. And then he really did think it was like real for a minute.
Oh my God.
And that they just like somebody. I'm like, maybe as a doppelganger. I'm like, no, we did it. But
Well, Peter's is better looking than her guy. Wouldn't don't you think?
I think that guy has like better teeth. He looks like a richer man.
I am going to say that he looks a little bit more wealthy than
Yes.
Peter, but
Yes.
But only because he has that zip-up white shirt.
I know,
Peter's is
but look,
unzipped.
and
It's the same shirt almost.
yeah.
But
Well,
he zipped his all the way up.
Yeah. Anyway, good for her. Good for her.
Good for her. I'm
Jennifer-
sure he's not a gold digger at
Jennifer-
all, Heather.
No.
I think he's there for her heart.
He's probably rich too, but who's as rich as she?
No
No
one.
one. No one is as rich as her.
So this was interesting. Jennifer Aniston, she did a big article, and she says that she reveals that she did have secret IVF attempts and fertility struggles, and the ship has sailed, and she regrets not freezing her eggs. She says, I would have given anything if someone had said to me, freeze your eggs, do yourself a favor. And I feel like maybe she didn't freeze her eggs because, like, the time to have done that would have been, like, I don't know, 17 years ago, because she's 53. You kind of want to do it at, like, 35 if you're going to do it. And maybe it wasn't as popular back then. Because now I feel like a lot of women are freezing their eggs that want to have kids that are in their early 30s, but I guess that have the money. And so now she says she kind of regrets it. And that she did try. She tried throughout the years.
I think that, I mean, I kind of don't believe her. I feel like...
Don't believe her.
I think
Really?
that because I know that maybe not freezing your eggs, but the thing of like, I remember like being in college and it being a thing of you can sell your eggs, like
Right, you could sell your
and you
eggs.
could get like 10 grand or whatever.
Right.
So everyone like considers it for a beat, and then the reason that one such as myself doesn't do it, other than some cockadoo is going to get your eggs,
Yeah.
is that you have to trick your body into thinking that you're pregnant. and you there's just a ton of side effects.
Yeah.
You get, you gain weight, and it's just a ton of side effects that a lot of people just don't even want to take 8 weeks or however long it takes to do it. And it's just a whole process. And I think we know Jennifer Aniston did not want to even gain an ounce around the time she was 35 with the long twisties in her hair with Brad at the thing.
And she was smoking.
Okay.
And she was smoking.
So do you think that she's coming up with this story because now she says, now it's a relief. Now I'm 53. Now I know it's not a possibility. I know people no one's asking you anymore. Are you going, no one's writing about it anymore finally. And so do you think that she's just saying it so that people see her as more human, which is so bad to say, but like, it's true. People always think women should have kids and everything. And she even said that this is so wrong. Like throughout her, like she's written stuff where she's like, the narrative that she never wanted children was a selfish partner whose husbands left her because she wouldn't give him a kid. She said, God forbid a woman is successful and doesn't have a kid. It was absolute lies. So now she's saying that all those years she did want a kid, but back then she wrote and was like never really speaking on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think she probably did want a kid. I think that she was scared to get pregnant. I think she was scared to even gain weight. She smokes. I think she never wanted to take the time.
Take the year off from the career.
And it just doesn't make sense, though, because Sandra Bullock has 2 kids that she adopted. Charlize Theron has 1 or 2. I don't ever keep up with her. 2. Like, if you really want a kid, you could have one, and we see people doing it without freezing their eggs, and they're super happy. And then there's something like, Michelle Pfeiffer, who has adopted children as well, and Angelina Jolie has
Michelle
27
Pfeiffer,
of them.
I love the Michelle Pfeiffer story. She was in the process of adopting a child as a single woman, and then she went on a date with David E. Kelly, and they started to date, and she's like, just so you know, like, I could get a call anytime, and I'm going to take this baby. And then she did, and then married, and then she had the baby, and he's like, cool, I still like you, and then they got married, and then they had kids together.
And I thought she couldn't have kids, and then she got to with him, like it worked.
Yeah.
And she stopped worrying about it, which I love too. I love her. We love her. But I think, why can't she just stand up and go, of course I wish I had kids, but I also don't want kids, because if I did, I could easily go get one the way everyone else does around me.
Mm-hmm. She says, the objectification and scrutiny we put women through is absurd and disturbing. The way I am portrayed by the media is simply a reflection of how we see and portray women in general, measured against some warped sense of beauty. And then this is the photo shoot. I mean, the fucking hypocrisy.
The hypocrisy.
She is wearing on the cover of Allure this tiny Chanel bathing suit that I've seen a lot of other people wear. It's like 2 tiny eye patches.
They look like
that say
cups.
Chanel. So then you have under tit, side tit, cleavage. The whole. It's just literally a bikini top that just covers the nips. And then another photo is her with her dog wearing Dior and her perfect body.
The tension in her face in the cover,
that's
it
beyond.
is as if I must take my stomach.
Yep.
I'm gonna hold my stomach tight.
And so I'm like, I love the thirst that's happening with women that are over 50. And it's like, they're like, oh, I got to get on TikTok. I got to start doing Instagram. I got to have my tits hang out, from Madonna to whatever. I've got to. It's like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. You don't. Maybe she felt this is my last time to show off my body because I am 53. But if she just did her classic, and maybe she didn't want to do a classic white T-shirt, jeans,
Her
and
smart
just
water look.
Yeah, just kind of So instead, she's like, oh, I'm going to show this body off.
I mean,
but you're not even the first
algorithm-
that did it. I just had this girl on.
Oh God! Wow. My algorithm.
So it's not an original look.
Is every single woman over 50 who goes and it'll be Halle Berry, it'll be Elle Macpherson, it'll be what's that lady who was married to the guy from Cars, or Stephanie? Not her, but Paulina Porskova.
Yeah.
They all go in their houses and their
the British one,
and it'll say over 50 crazy bikini shot. I'm like, gotta see it, and now that's all I get into Yahoo. That's it. And then I go and look at it, and I can't stop myself. It's like I have to see their bodies and then feel terrible about my own.
I mean, part of it is there's any way you can look at it. Like, I still have a good body. I want to show it off like everybody else. You should be happy too. And then,
No.
Yeah, but you can't be talking about the objectification and the crazy
Right.
way society treats women and show up with 2 fucking ping pongs on your tits.
Right.
Like,
And-
you just can't do
Chanel
it.
eye
and
patches.
she
I'm
also
sorry.
recently in something I remember said, like, you know, she was like angry. She's like, why are these people famous for doing nothing? I mean, we had to and so did Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, we had to do this and we had to have a book and you had to have a talent. And I'm like, and now you're the same thirsty influencer that you're ripping on because nobody cares now that you're 53 and People magazine buyers are over 60 and nobody even care. Like,
Yeah.
it's over. We're not going to be talking about you that much. So let's do this.
I don't
Right.
even have a subscription to like any magazines, but of course I get them to my house for whatever reason. Like, you know how they come to your house and you're like, who's doing this? And there's an Elle magazine that said Women in Hollywood, and it's fucking Olivia. Don't worry, darling. The older
Wilde.
actor,
Olivia Wilde.
And she's like this, same thing. Her one whole tit's out. And then this is covered, but this has a pasty, her one
Right.
tit, and then this is all covered, but it's completely hanging there with a tiny pasty, and I'm like, Jesus, what kind of my neighbors? It's like sitting on my porch, and her whole boob's out this month on Elle, and it's like the
Right.
level they have to just be basically a Playboy to even get
Right, and
anyone
it's
to
like,
watch
and
their
here
movie.
and here we're like, why aren't there more women directors? And why don't we? And like, you know, and time's up, and here we are, you know, and we're strong women, and we're opening the doors for younger people, and it's like, there's 2 ways to look at it. It can be like, if a guy can be shirtless, I get that whole thing, but any woman that's like, free the nipple, why can't my nipple be on Instagram? You just want a bunch of likes.
Yeah.
You're a thirsty bitch.
Yes.
You're just trying to hang on, because if you really were that confident, you'd be like, I don't need to show this for shit. Like, why would I?
I never saw James Cameron's wife, who I'm now sexist because I don't
Linda
know her
Hamilton?
name. No, the one who's the big director.
Oh, that's right.
She won an
Right.
Academy Award. I never saw her on the cover of Elle with her tit out with a pasty
Michelle
on it.
Pfeiffer's never had her tits out on Elle. There are some actresses that don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That like stay classy or humble or whatever in their way.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, God. I mean, I guess it's the kind of, you know, don't hate the player, hate the game. But then
I
do
wish
you hate
Jennifer
the game?
Aniston would go, I want to travel with Chelsea Handler and smoke cigarettes and do mushrooms and go sit in Cabo and have sex with strange men who walk by or
Right.
women or do orgies or whatever the hell they do in Cabo. Or maybe they're just big dorks. But either way, she smokes cigarettes all day long and she doesn't want kids. Like, who cares?
Right.
Like, just say
Or-
that.
Or
But I
maybe,
think-
or maybe this is true. Maybe she said, I fought it, and now that it's passed, there was a time when I did want it, and freeze your eggs so that you have that option. I wish I had done that. So, I mean, she could be telling the truth. You
Yeah.
don't think she is?
She wants her own kids, I'll say.
Yeah.
She doesn't just want to raise children.
Right,
Unless
right.
they're her own.
Right.
But maybe there's also a thing of she's like not being able to articulate that she wanted to go through the process of being. It's almost like I could have been pregnant. I think she didn't want to be. It's like being the difference between being pregnant and having a kid, which is having a human being for your whole life. Like it's almost like she wished that she had been pregnant so she could have gotten the cover. She could have gotten the thing where she did this.
Oh, where
She
she's
could
like
have-
naked. Yeah.
they get a good 9 months of a lot of attention when
lot
they're
of press,
pregnant.
yeah.
And it's like, because it just doesn't make sense to me. If you want a kid, you can have a kid. You don't have to be pregnant and have a kid. There's
Did you
a
take
million
your
kids.
boobs out and your stomach out and do that sensual
Oh my god!
photo shoot?
Did you ever see? I posted it before. It is the worst photo shoot ever. I've talked about it on the show. My sister lives in Palm Desert, and she had like an artsy photographer guy. And she goes, and they're like a totally nice couple, but he's like a real photographer. Like would go to Joshua Tree and like take photos of people and like highlight the lines in their face and like
Oh, that
that's
thing.
the kind of stuff. Like just someone like crawled outside of like a liquor store, like, but it's like art, right? Okay, so then and I'm like, okay, like who doesn't want a free photo? Like, which kills me because I'm like, why didn't I do like a beautiful photo shoot, right? So, I think it was the Spencer Pratt show. Oh, get ready. I'm sitting on an office chair. They
Why?
gave me black comes and a weird robe. I had no makeup on. I had glasses on, which I didn't wear glasses at the time. And there was another one where like I had like an old fashioned typewriter and like a fur. And then the one I'm not showing is he, and I love him. He's great. Kind of talked me into full nip. And I had like, just like a nips out. And then blew it up for me, and I never hung it up. And one time the kids saw it, and they're like, ew, like it's and
Heather, you don't even wear glasses.
I know, it's so bad.
You barely look pregnant. I mean, you weren't 9 months here, were you?
I never showed that much because I was tall, and so like the baby was
very
able to
small.
stretch out. So it actually wasn't as cute of a bump
Like that honestly kind of looks like
have.
me right now if I sat in a chair with that on. I should redo it. I'm just going to redo it and do it as my pregnancy photo. Oh my God, you could have taken really, really, really pretty ones. Although you probably just didn't look pregnant enough because they love looking like they're like this big and about to pop.
Yeah.
The baby's coming out.
I don't know. Things were just different back then. Now it's like so exploitative. Let's exploit everything. The pregnancy,
Oh, all of it. There's dresses where they go out and there's a hole in the dress for the stomach to come out.
Show the whole thing. You want to be out. And, like people didn't even wear bikinis. Back then, you'd have like a pregnancy full one-piece bathing suit. Like it's so, and that was only like 20 years ago. So I don't know. Listen, she's beautiful. Good for her. Hold on, let me get back to this. I don't know. I mean, whatever. Everyone loves her show. I haven't watched it that much. The morning show.
Oh, right.
But so she's got hair extensions in this photo. She's doing it all. I mean, good for her. But just don't act like you're not.
You can't act like you're oppressed by it and then do it.
Exactly. Perfect. Great way to end the topic. Okay, so Sylvester Stallone said that Sylvester Stallone back in August 24th, I did a topic with Chris Frangiola that he had filed for divorce. Okay. And that he had covered her face tattoo. He had a tattoo of her face on his shoulder with their dog. And apparently at the time, the stories in the tabloids were the dog was a big point of contention for their family. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe he filed for divorce. They've been married for so long. And Chris Frangiola goes, I think this is for a reality show. I think it's all going to be played out for a reality show and they're going to get back together. So they filed on the 24th. We recorded on August 24th. They filed. August 29th is when Chris said that. I was like, I think you're totally right. Yesterday comes out, Sylvester Stallone says his marriage problems are part of a reality TV show that we're all going to be able to watch. And I'm sure it's on E!
Wow.
So that was a Chris Frangiola prediction. A lot of people are trying to get into the prediction game.
Yeah.
And
he's an intuitive.
It's not as easy for everybody, but good for him. He absolutely, like, when he told me, I was like, whoa, you're totally right.
Wow.
Because they have 3 daughters and they're pretty, I guess, assume they're probably pretty girls, but they're not making it. And what do you do when you have 3 girls and you're rich and they're pretty and they don't want to go to school or be lawyers or, do anything? You say, let's go to E! And get your reality show and hopefully you'll be the next Bradshaw bunch.
Right.
Kardashians, of course.
Can we do a close-up on his hairline? So did he get plugs?
Oh yeah, that might be a full wig. I think he's wearing
what do
a
you guys
full.
think?
I think it's a lace.
If he got
front.
a hair transplant, that looks incredible to me.
I think it could be that it was his hair. It could be his hair.
If he got a
I don't remember ever seeing him balding.
I am a Sylvester Stallone expert. Okay, now he has been working on that hair for quite a long time because he's definitely gone through wigs. He's had wig hair.
He's had wigs.
Okay.
Now,
I believe that this is.
You think that this is
I think it's a transplant with.
Can you?
Sorry,
Julie.
I think
you just mark this time as possibly being Julie's last. Okay, go on. Yes.
Sorry.
I think it's a transplant, and then Heather do a Zoom. They put makeup in the hairline, which is
do you
a
think
common
there's
thing
any
to do.
kind
See
of
how
wig?
It looks a little dark in the hairline, just to darken it. But I think
like
he looks
this.
great. I think it looks great.
Yeah, I
When
think he looks great
did
too.
you become a hairdresser for the studios?
A couple years ago, we became experts on hair systems because I would love to get a hair transplant.
Why? You have great hair. What are you
I
talking
want to
about?
do it all on the edges of my. I would love to bring my forehead down, Teresa Giudice style.
Why?
My forehead is too big. I want to get my edges filled in.
Absolutely not. No, we're not allowing that to happen.
Sylvester Stallone did a porn in the 70s. I just want everybody to know. And if you want to take a look at it, just go Google it and enjoy yourself.
Is that true?
Interesting that you said that.
It is.
And what is he doing in the porn? Because I have some other scoop for you.
It's right before Rocky. From what I can remember, because I did watch it, he walks in a room and basically just fucks this woman in a room. It's not really much story.
Okay.
But he's
Did you see Phil Dick?
Yeah, I believe that you do.
So was it a VHS tape?
It's old. I mean, this is the 70s.
So how did you see it?
How did I see it?
Pornhub.
I think it was later. Yeah, I think I found it later on. So
Good for you.
the internet had to have been around.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story, and I don't think you guys are going to like it. Okay?
No.
So back in the day, when I was just trying to get any kind of footage on tape, I've shared this story before, but I'll get through it quickly. I answered an ad in Dramalog.
Oh, that old chestnut.
I went down to this office on Lancashire and went into this room to possibly be part of a small film. And they said, come back. It's going to require you to rollerblade, because on my resume, I put as a special skill that I could rollerblade.
Good.
So I'm on Lancashire Boulevard and I'm rollerblading around.
Yeah, sure.
And they said, okay, great. You're hired. Come here tomorrow and bring a bathing suit and rollerblades.
Oh, God.
And then I got in this car with the guy who's in charge of it, another guy who was filming it, and this girl who wrote it, wrote the film. And we go to the Silmar Reservoir. And they put, and the whole point I was going to get footage for this, right? I get in my suit and put on I just go under illegally we're in this dry reservoir thing. And I crawl under the gate, and they're like, okay, now this is the story that she wrote is that it's a dream and you're scaring her. So you're going to roller skate around the camera guy. We're going to get that shot. And then they go, but the nightmare was that it was frogs after her. So then they put a frog, complete frog, on me. So now the whole point of me doing this for free, was that I would have some footage to show what a great rollerblader I am, maybe get an agent out of it. And so now I'm rollerblading with this big frog head on, just a bathing suit and rollerblades, doing this thing, because I'm thinking, Heather, there's no small parts. There's only small actors. You want to make it in this town or not, you lazy bitch? And I'm and then I can't see peripherally, so I fall and I trip. And now my knee's bleeding, and they're annoyed. And they're like, all right, let's go. So then we're driving back, and they're like, here's a script of another movie that we have these doctors that want to invest if you want to be in it. So I start reading it, and it's definitely, I don't know, full porn, but it's girls are laying out by the pool and they take off their tops, and then the girl's like, here, will you run some sunscreen on my back? Will you put it on my top first? So now the girl's rubbing her tits. And I go, this is a porn. I don't think I want to do this. And then the writer goes, really? You're not going to do this? Everybody has done movies like this in Hollywood that have made it. I know. I have a fucking porn in my house of Michelle Pfeiffer.
No.
Michelle Pfeiffer was the exact name she used. I'm like, are you talking about before Grease 2? What the fuck are you talking about? Because Michelle.
Yeah.
And she said that. And I was like, well, she's like, so she goes, what do you think you're going to, you think you're going to win an Oscar? Well, even if you are up for an Oscar, having this is not going to hurt you, because everyone has a porn in their background. So she might be right.
Or maybe it was Dee Dee Pfeiffer, because they did look a lot alike back then.
Who was Dee Dee? Oh, shit. Oh, what happened to her?
I don't know what happened to her, but she was in the All-Nighter, and she was in a couple things. But yeah, I mean, it was one of those silk stockings type of scripts.
You think I should have
right?
done it?
No. I do know someone who did a silk stockings type of thing.
Oh,
and
Camille Grammer?
Yeah, exactly. Someone I went to college with did do one of them, and it was a scandal of everyone around all of our circles. It was a scandal. And of course, we all had to watch it, and it was beyond. It was beyond.
I felt enough humiliation from the
frog
kids
head.
on campus at USC after I did an episode of Studs. Like, everyone thought I was fucking trash for doing that. And I remember and then I would even go out. I remember like talking to a guy and really liking him, and someone being like, "You were on Studs," and this guy's like, "Ew," and he just was totally turned off. Like, I'm not taking home this girl to like my Pasadena rich home and have the world know that she was so trashy that she was on Studs, which. For those who don't know, it was a game show where you go out on. There's 3 girls and 2 guys, and we all go on a date. Like, I go out with each guy, and then in the end, you either match up or choose each other, whatever. I won.
Yeah. So at least you have that.
But we never went on
and
the
we
track.
do have your pregnancy nip shot somewhere out there.
I mean, it's somewhere out there. I just sharing it. Peter had made a prediction. There was this photo that I talked about on Tuesday's show. This is not it. That this shark photobombed a surfer, and it was off of the coast of Southern California. And Peter, being an oceanside lifeguard, called bullshit. This isn't true. This is fake. And I predict it. I talked about it. I have since heard from the Juicy Scooper, who was actually writing an article about this photo situation. And she said, "I'm sorry, Peter is completely wrong."
Ooh.
There is video of the shark jumping out. There are surfers that were eyewitnesses. That happened. And so I told Peter, and then today, the New York Post posts, giant shark jumps into a fishing boat in bonkers video. What the fuck do we do? And he goes, "Where's it from?" And I go, "New Zealand." He goes, "Exactly. New Zealand, South Africa, not Southern California." But I think Peter's wrong. I told him, I go, the world has changed since you were a lifeguard 35 years ago. The earth has changed. The sharks are like...
Their consciousness has changed too. Sharks' consciousness.
Yeah.
They know they can come out. They smell when when you're around. And they know. They're coming around more.
Yeah, maybe a new family moved in here. Maybe they wanted to come live on the coast of here, but near Malibu.
Somebody told me, and I'm not saying it's true, that actually we have improved our situation with the with sea life and environment. Mm-hmm. It has improved, and because it has improved, the sharks are flourishing, and there's more of them, and they're growing.
Places.
Yeah,
in some places.
By making it like a healthier place.
In some places,
yeah.
But in some places, they come out more because it isn't. So when you see sharks, the whole thing with sharks is like if they're around people on that shallow of the surface, they're hungry, they're looking for food because their environment has been completely tampered with and fucked with. But when they go deep, or when they're like, if they're not around, they're cool. If they're around, they're hungry. Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Well,
so like that motherfucker.
Anyway, Peter was wrong about that. Okay.
Peter, you're wrong.
Are you up on the latest with Brittany?
No.
I'm happy to bring you up. There is a new article written in the, let me see, it's the New York Magazine's latest cover story, House of Spears, and it lays out the history of the abusive behaviors and tragic deaths that plagued Jamie Spears, Brittany's dad, as a child, and ultimately saw him fail to break the cycle while raising his own kids. So these are all things that happened. First, when he was a little boy, he had a brother who died when he was 3 days old. Then, 9 years later, his mother fatally shot herself at 31. Wow. Then the dad, who's named June, which is a weird dad's name, he remarried just 8 months after his wife's suicide, tying the knot to this girl, Joanne, who later accused him in court of beating her constantly. And then he put her in a psych ward.
Oh, no.
He put 2 of his wives he put the wife that killed herself in a psych ward. Then she killed herself. Then he put this one in a psych ward. And those kids said that he did this to our mother.
Oh, my God.
And so, very interestingly, that he did that to Brittany.
Wow.
So, wait, Jamie Spears' father put Jamie
2
Spears'
wives
into
a psych ward, institutionalized them. And one, I guess, got out and killed herself. The other one divorced this was like a summary on page 6, but these are the things that have happened to him.
And then the son went on to put his daughter in, his own daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, he loves doing that.
Having your mother commit suicide though, that is some psychological trauma.
And there was
right
alcoholism,
there.
and then he and Lynn filed for bankruptcy 3 times before Brittany had her first hit.
Wow.
So she really was their ticket out of this like cycle of alcohol. And he had cheated on Lynn. Jamie did, and she knew about it one drunken night at a bar. I mean, there's just all these situations that they were like struggling before Brittany really made it. And then, of course, Brittany was the had to support the whole family, breadwinner all these years.
She made it at like 15 though, so had all happened through bankruptcy 3 times before she's 15. Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, she's struggling. This girl, Millie Bobby Brown, went on Drew Barrymore, and she said, "I would love to play Britney Spears in the Britney Spears movie," and Britney Spears just didn't understand that and made her very angry. And she was like, "I'm not dead, y'all. Why do I need you to play me when I'm here? Though my family would like me to be dead, they'd also not like to give me that cup of coffee. Or the fact that I never got to have a spa. Or I couldn't drive my motherfucking car or have a motherfucking boyfriend." So, like, they're like, and then all the fans are like, "No, Brittany, we love you. But, like, if there was going to be a story about your life, like, you're 40, and, like, maybe if we want to see someone play you at 15, like, we actually think she'd be a really good match. Like, it's okay, Brittany." And she's, so it's like she doesn't understand that.
She can play 15. Look at that.
She went back to her old house. People are very confused by this. And I just zoomed in on, like, the clothes. Like, what is that? There's, like, clothes in the background. There's just crap everywhere. I don't know who's doing this, but then she revealed, then she goes, "Okay, don't laugh. I take myself seriously when I perform. I'm reposting this because this is with heels. I'm a beginner. It's the look through. It's the look, though, I guess. And yes, I'm extremely weird." So she does this dancing. Then she's like, "I danced again, but I put on heels." But she's always in heels. And then she also said that, and then also Sam, the husband, he has spent the last 35 days doing something in Baltimore. But now she revealed that he's home and he's kickboxing. And she's like, "My husband was supposed to be gone a week, but he was gone 35 days. So I don't know if she realizes that these last posts in the last month have been weird because she didn't have Sam there."
What was Sam Asghari or whatever shooting in Baltimore? Like a movie?
I'm sure it was a Randall Emmett film.
Exactly. I mean, good for him. He's booking projects.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Great.
Love hearing it.
Yeah, in Baltimore. Good for him.
I mean, this people went outraged about this. This was a TikTok that the bride posted thinking it was fun. And then everyone was like, "What the hell is wrong?" They are outraged. Social media is outraged after this very aggressive groom knocked down his bride while forcing cake into her face. So I watched it. It's eating the cake. And she was like, "No, no, no." And of course she puts in the video, "No, no, 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 no." You know that music?
No.
No, no. You don't know that music? Do you guys watch TikTok? You're missing out.
Okay.
You know what? If you start it, you're going to have no life. So don't even.
Yeah, we're not going to.
So anyway, they go. She runs in a corner, and he's like shoving on her face. Runs in a corner to the point where she falls in the corner.
Nope.
And he's still like putting it all over. Now it's all her hair is fallen. It's on her outfit.
Nope.
That is beyond.
I think the whole smashing the cake thing is so fucking weird.
It's gross and dumb. The whole tradition of it. I don't want to watch it.
Nope.
Makes me uncomfortable.
Yep.
It's so aggressive and weird. I mean,
what is the matter with him? I mean, I'm sorry. What is the fucking matter with him? What is the matter with him? What is the matter with him?
And then
What's the matter with him? That's what I want to say. No. What's the matter with you? 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 What's the matter with you?
He has a low man bun.
It almost looks like it's her dad doing it.
He looks like he's wearing a wig, like a Bates Motel wig. He looks like he's wearing a Anthony Perkins wig from Psycho. He's an asshole. He is an asshole. You're an asshole, sir. You're an asshole.
But now, of course, how embarrassing for her. Like, now they're on their honeymoon, and this is out, and the whole world is writing what a dick he is.
You know what else he does?
Juicy Scoop's talking about it, and she's like, "Shit, why the fuck did I do it? Because I am married, and I know I married a dick, and I know I married a weird asshole, but I kind of didn't. I didn't think the world would react this way. So now it's like a double whammy for her.
Well, that's not the last time she's getting something shoved in her face.
No,
I'll tell you that.
that's right. Can you imagine?
She probably got a dick shoved in
God,
at
can
night.
you imagine how horrendous he is sexually? How absolutely horrendous he is. Also, he probably pushes her in the pool. He probably trips her.
Splashes
He
her.
probably keeps her, does the thing where they fake drown you. He probably throws
The fake
snowballs
drowning
at
is
her.
the worst thing ever.
He's a fucking piece of shit.
Wow.
This is Julie talking. I'll take all of it.
Let's just talk about Sister Wives because you're in a heated moment.
Oh,
Oh wait, not the photo of,
it's so
of Christine off
looking
to the side.
out
That's
on
good.
her own. She's looking at her own power now. She's looking at a sunshine of power.
So you saw the last episode?
Yes.
As they sat around, and I just what I found really interesting, and I'll let you guys each talk. It's really interesting that there's that one moment where he brings up, like, I look like a fraud now because we've told the world for 12 years publicly this works. I think there is a moment, too, which they are thinking about, will the show continue?
Oh.
That Christine is left.
Yeah.
And that also, with Christine actually leaving, it sheds light on the fact that he's not in love with Mary at all, could fucking care less. Janelle, I used to think that they maybe, like, she just gave him BJ's or something, or maybe there was. Now I think, no, I don't think she's had sex with him for 10 years.
Yep.
I don't think any of them were having sex with him for probably a year or two before he got with Robin.
Not
I
even
think they
Christine?
got No, because Christine said they hadn't been intimate for 10 years.
Oh.
And I think he's been with Robin for about like 8 or 9 years. And so I think none of them were having sex with him. I don't think he wanted to, but maybe Christine did still want it.
She did.
And then they brought in Robin, and they were going to embrace Robin. And then really that's the only one he was compatible with. And now she's crying, being like, I had other choices. I could have married another guy, even though I was divorced, but I wanted this for my family. And she's not saying it, but I think she's like, I wanted the TV show. I wanted the brand. I wanted it all, even though they appear to be the poorest and the most unchanged look-wise reality stars I have ever seen.
Yeah.
They've run the show for 12 years. No one has figured out how to do a fake lash or a better lined lip. Like, what reality stars have we seen that's been on a show for 12 years that are this unchanged? Which, good for them. They're not changing. They're still wearing the same ugly clothes.
They've gotten uglier. I mean, only Janelle, I feel, has stepped up.
Yeah.
No, Christine's never looked better, and she's accepting her power.
When she lost a little weight. But I thought Christine was kind of pretty, like, over the years.
I just saw a TikTok that Janelle's, who is it? I think it's Christine's daughter. Christine has a daughter who is bisexual or gay.
No, that's Mary.
No, Christine does.
Oh, yeah,
she has
Christine
that one.
does,
too.
There's
that's
a few
like
of them.
Aurora or whatever her name is.
And that girl, Christine's daughter, is with her girlfriend, and the girlfriend is doing a TikTok. And she said, we all went to Janelle's older son's wedding, Logan, who hasn't been part of the show for a long time. And she said, did your dad sit with Janelle since it's their son who got married? No, he sat with Robin.
Oh.
Janelle sat across the way. And so it's definitely confirmed that the only person he has any kind of sexual relationship with is Robin.
Well, it's interesting because Janelle just doesn't seem to care. She's like into the family. She doesn't care about sex for some reason.
No.
Whatever her deal is. Christine
not if
cares.
it's with him.
Well, right. But Christine cares. Christine wants to have a real relationship with someone.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck this. I want it.
Yeah.
And so she's there's only so long you can, So then Mary, I know she's got the lesbian daughter, but we kind of feel like she might be a les too.
100%. What about when she was with her best friend?
Yeah, she's never so happy as when she's with her best friend.
So happy with her best
You know
friend.
what I mean? She's never so happy. The bitch doesn't smile until she talks about her best friend Jen or whatever the fuck her name.
Well, I follow this girl. She does what is her show? Without a Crystal Ball. She does a lot of stuff on the Sister Wives. I had talked about this before, that she is doing a women's empowerment weekend, Mary, at the B&B or whatever it's called,
And like Lizzie
bed
Borden's
and breakfast.
house or whatever.
Hey, it's
And
probably women with a Y.
Yeah.
WOMYN.
A lot of people think it's very cultish. She just had a couple openings after this past, and she's like, you guys, it's women empowerment. We are going to go on hikes. I can't tell you about it. But it's anywhere between 4,500 or 6,000 if you want to stay in the
Lesbian
B&B?
bed and breakfast?
Yes, you can, but otherwise you can find other accommodations. They're like, what other accommodations? This is like what, the Motel
only-
6? Like, it's not. We're not going to Park City.
Yeah.
We're going to some other little hobunk town.
And she's like, I love I'm not a lesbian, but this is the Georgia O'Keeffe room. This
Here's the Ellen DeGeneres wing.
So she writes, you guys, I know it's getting close, but if you want to come to this amazing retreat in a couple weeks to get energized and get ready for the holidays, I've got a couple spots that just opened up. Get your
God,
own flight.
I wish we could go so
Go
bad.
your own flight to Salt
give
Lake
I wanna
City,
go.
$6,000
and
would
Las
get your own
Vegas.
flight.
I have been asking for a Juicy Scooper to come. I did see that if you do sign up, you sign an NDA, and you also can't ask anything about sister wives. So
Bitch.
I don't know what empowerment she's doing. Maybe how to sell LuLaRoe
Oh, right.
leggings. I think you also could be slightly, at this point, the only way the show is going to stick is if they get another wife to join.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We
So we
definitely-
think so, too.
Because then Janelle will hang around in her trailer.
Yep.
And then Robin will
so
get
bad.
Jealous.
Won't mind at first and then get jealous. That is the only way the show. So if you want to be living at Coyote Pass
Yep.
and fucking Kody
Yeah.
and seeing him dance around, do you guys see when he danced at the wedding that he officiated?
Yeah. Yes, we did. Yeah. And just his whole thing of even the officiation, the whole thing. And he looked like you know when the toddler dances and they're jerky?
Yeah.
It's like that. Like he's like a toddler who's dancing.
Okay, well, somebody just sent me a photo that came from some Facebook group, but it's not accredited, so I can't share it on YouTube. But it's him looking down, speaking about hair plugs.
Okay.
And it's like, here's the curls, and then there's this whole band of no hair.
Oh, no.
And then hair here.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know that this is right.
Wow.
But then I looked at old photos where it's like brown and it's kind of thinning, and
Yeah,
now it's like
receding.
really healthy, like Goldilocks curls.
Yeah.
So what I think happened, just my opinion, the top of the hair was losing. He got a transplant here and then dyed it and curled it and permed it. And he kind of arranges it to cover this part until he
Right.
can get another check from TLC to add to this
Yeah.
to the top part of the head.
Right.
It
That
he
makes
looks
sense.
better with the hair
He
like
does
that,
look
though,
like
I
way
think.
better. Now, the other thing I think they could do
Yes.
to keep the show going is to
Yes.
do the offshoot of Christine dating in her new life.
I know. I think it's going to be really hard. And I think that's why they're like annoyed that she's moving to Utah.
Oh, they definitely don't want to lose the show.
Maybe
Because
she could
if
go on
she-
Salt Lake City, though. Housewives.
Yes.
Let's do
Yes.
that. Let's do that.
Can
Yes.
you imagine if she would on?
Yes.
So I'm going to bring my new friend. This is Lisa Barlow
You're gonna
here.
love
She hasn't had a lot of Vita tequila, but she's just come out of a relationship. And okay, who wants to be Christine? I'm going to
Okay. Okay.
be. Okay, I'm going to
Okay.
be Lisa. I'm going to be a
Yeah.
couple of the girls
I want-
asking
okay,
you,
wait,
and
I
you.
want more than the man. I want the family. Okay.
So you're Christine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, Christine! I love this for you that you're back in Utah. Tell me, what was you're recently divorced?
Yeah, I was married for a long time to Kody, but he didn't really love me intimately. And it was really the intimate affection that I had been looking for, but I didn't realize it. But now that Shule and Yarborough and Yisbeline and Germanine are all grown, except for Shule, who still lives with me, I want to find my own independence. And I'm really excited to do it. I'm really happy to be here with you.
Okay, now Meredith comes into the fray. I I don't know what that would be like. I can barely handle Seth, but then to have 3 other women possibly fucking him, it's not something I would be interested in. So I'm just going to disengage.
No, I understand. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it at the time because he really, we would take turns. So he would make love to, well, he never actually did. Actually, we had sex. How many kids do I have?
5.
I want to say, it's like 5.
We had 5 times sex, and that was it. But that's why I'm here in Salt Lake, to be with you ladies, to have fun and meet some men. Do you have any single men for me to meet?
Okay, so now Whitney's going to chime in an interview.
I think it's really great that Christine has joined the group of girls. I know that Justin, since he's lost his job, has some free time to introduce her to some eligible men, but I don't know if it's going to really work out. I'm just trying to get along with Heather because bad weather has been bad weather.
Yeah, we've had bad weather too when we lived at Coyote Pass.
The worst. Okay, I think there's potential there. Let's talk about what are your thoughts this season on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We have gotten past Lisa Barlow saying that she has not given blowjobs to get Vita into
jazz game
or jazz tickets. Meredith is happily in a tub with her husband. Heather Gay is getting a gay excommunicated Mormon choir together. And
now what's going on with that? Why is that happening? Is that that is just a fast forward moment? Like that's a get a drink, go to the bathroom, leave it playing. Like
what you weren't into the choir?
I was
situation?
into Jen Shaw, who were gonna lose coming in and singing "America the Beautiful" or whatever the heck that was. That was the deal.
I mean, there were 6 people at the audition. They thought they were gonna have a line down the block. It was actually 3 people from the show and 3 gay guys who were like, "Oh, I want to meet Heather. I want to do it." Like nobody wants to do stupid choir.
She said she was related.
What
to
did
all
you
6
think?
people.
What did you think of Whitney, her husband getting fired because of some of the stuff they've done on the show?
I thought she acted like she was fine and proud of that, but I think she's horrified that she did that. I think she was horrified the minute it aired. I think I think her sexual assault from childhood continued on, or her coerced consent from childhood continued here. She finally sees, oh, these producers are using me. They got me to
coerced consent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, I've criticized it. I'm like, well, of course, they just want to stay on the show. They want to please them. They plow them with alcohol. They don't let them eat.
Yep.
And they're like, you guys are so fun. This is going to be so funny.
Yep.
And it's going to show couples that you guys can have fun. This is a date night. And they're not thinking about the fact that cut to 8 months later, I'm talking about on Juicy Scoop with a screen grab.
Yeah, everybody's
slapping her ass.
I think they have. I do think they have like a fun and engaging sex life. I think that I like their relationship a lot, and I've grown to like her as she's become more cynical and finally understands that she is being used and exploited, and she needs to find her power and find her voice. And I think she's horrified and ashamed.
Okay, I am so excited that you brought this up because I am like, where is this fucking? Okay, please, dear God, if they have that she probably won't because she'll want to keep her job, but I am secreting that at the reunion, she does say, and I'm really mad at the producers. I'm really mad that I was put in this position and I did this because I'm not going to tell you what happened in my childhood because I just wanted to tease the audience the entire time. I'm still not going to tell you. But I ended up doing things I didn't want to do. And it was humiliating. And so that brings, like the fact that she's bringing it up as her storyline, being like, when Heather Gay said, I wasn't there for this discussion about Lisa Barlow blowing for jazz tickets. And she's like, when you say that, you don't realize what I've been going through and people trying to tell me that I don't remember what I was supposed to be. Like, what? Heather Gay is not supposed to be thinking about that. She's supposed to be like, hey, fuck it, I'm not touching this.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to stick to it. There's no cameras. Fuck off. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
she's
pulling a Kathy Hilton. You say what you say.
Yeah.
I say what I say. Goodbye.
her subtext is like, I'm always constantly walked all over and used and exploited against my will.
But she's not bringing up this. Like, yeah. Well, Heather Gay, if you're watching this, you should bring it up in the reunion. When they bring it up, though,
Yep.
why don't you be mad at the producers or be mad at your husband that said, let me slap your ass on camera? Why don't you be mad at them
I
instead
think
of me?
he gets pressured too. You know, he
Of
does
course.
whatever she wants.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel for them. I was absolutely horrified by this. I was like, oh, girl.
When it happened
girl.
last year, yeah. I was dying.
And now she's like, it's fine. I mean, I stand by it. He lost his job. Like, leave it to Bravo. I mean, honestly, like, how many people have gone to jail? Now this guy loses his job.
I know, and like they're supposed to live off the rebrand. And why did it cost $300,000 to rebrand
Rose Apothecary
is
or
her
whatever.
stuff? Let me ask the people at home: is her stuff an MLM?
No.
I didn't think so.
We looked at the website.
So it's just skincare.
She just sells it. Yeah.
Who's buying it though?
Why does anyone think they can go into the skincare space? Don't they watch Shark Tank?
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about something that I
Oh,
made
my
you suffer
good-
through. You guys, I saw people sending this to me saying this is so juicy, Heather, you're going to love it. And it's called, or what's the actual show called?
Orgasm Inc.
Orgasm Inc. on Netflix. It's a 2-hour documentary.
Can I just, before you,
Yes, go ahead.
I want everyone to understand that you asked us.
100%. And I want to say,
We're going to call HR. I don't know who, if it's Annie, but I know that all of a sudden I'm like,
100%
did Heather
this
ask us to watch a
Yeah.
porn for her show?
first of all, I'm horrified and embarrassed. But I started to watch just the first couple minutes of it. And I was like, hey, you guys watching this? Being that it was only 2 hours, not 18.
Right.
I was like, hey, if you could sneak this in, it'll be kind of interesting to talk about because the Juicy Scoopers are talking about it. About a third in, I'm like, do I call them and say you don't have to? But then I was like, no, because I'm dying to hear their opinion. What this is in a nutshell is it's another. I tweeted last night. I'm like, Netflix documentaries have really hurt the cult industry. Like, if you were in a cult, or if you even think, I mean, even if you're not in a cult, after watching Netflix for the last 3 years documentaries, you're like, I was in a cult.
I am in a cult. It's called the Netflix documentary cult. I mean, I'm dreaming about Nexium on the regular. And on the way here after this, Julie, because we had to finish watching it on the way here, Julie's like this, I got to be done with cults for a little while. I just feel I'm changing as a person. She said that on the way here. That's a quote.
Okay, so this takes place in San Francisco, which if you weren't into San Francisco before, this is going to really turn you off. So it's, I don't know, maybe like 5 years ago, and this woman starts this whole group. But she's getting these highly educated, like, tech people to join, and it's called the one
taste. It's called One Taste.
One taste, and means orgasm
Meditation. That's the practice.
So she's the whole thing. But the practice is literally 30 people in a room, and then she teaches you. It is an MLM in that you join the group, then you get certified to teach people and recruit people, and also like a Scientology sense in like to go to this next level, it's going to be $15,000 to take this class, and you're going to and it's like this is what's blocking you and everything. And then I cannot believe this. They just have like these are just people just wearing average clothes, very little makeup, 30 people in a room. This girl is laying on a bed, like in butterfly legs, like legs out,
Legs
clothes on her, but just full vag out. And the cult leader, as I'm going to call that, is instructing this guy how to find the clit and stroke it. While she has an orgasm and everybody is watching. Everybody is watching this.
Yes.
The whole time I watched it, I was clutched vagina. I said, I don't even want to ever have an orgasm again.
Yeah, I was becoming
am so
more
turned off.
more
I am
sexually
like,
repressed.
Yeah.
I'm becoming more puritanical. I need to I don't even understand what this is.
I cannot. I'm like, we're in such a cult hole. Like every word I even think of now is about vagina.
Yeah.
Now. And I'm already so like Nexium. We watched every single thing of The Vow about Nexium
Right.
and all of that. Then going into this, It's just like Nexium with fingering.
Yes.
And like or public fingering, because he fingered them too, and there's a whole sex cult thing with that. But this is literally just Nexium with a group of people in a room getting fingered. And then, in addition, of course, and I said to her when we started, I was like, when's the rape coming? When's the rape coming? And they're not just doing the vajaj, they're doing dicks. And where are the dicks? Where are the dicks? Where are the dicks? And then, of course, that was underground, that was private, that was the thing. And then there's rape. But it's just like, I cannot
and
deal.
Then what was
I can't
so weird
deal.
Is this girl comes off like a TED talker, like a very, like I said, well-spoken person, and it becomes like a startup, like a real company. And I'm like, this is fucking a sex trafficked thing. What is this? And then, but she's convincing you, like, you're repressed. It reminded me of, like, the only thing I can compare it to is, like, a really creepy acting class.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Like,
That's what I
where
said.
they
That's
push
what I
you, where
said.
they're like, what's your problem?
Yep.
Why can't you break through? What did your dad do to you?
Yep.
The only way, you guys, I remember I had an acting class where we were doing same time next year, and the acting teacher was a man, told the guy who was playing
Alan Alda.
You guys he takes him aside. The guy told me that my scene partner told me that the guy took him aside, that I'm paying like $700 a month for one class a week for four times a week, says, have you fucked her yet? Meaning me. You guys need to fuck if you want this scene to work. Oh, the scene to work in front of the 8 people in the class?
And like at the Hollywood
We have to now
black box.
fuck. We have to fuck, not in front of the class, but he literally was like, your homework is to go and fuck if you want this scene to work.
God, it's
I
a
remember
nightmare.
doing like Meisner, some kind of, and I don't think it was repeating or if it was method, whatever it was some stupid class of dead dog type bullshit. And we're doing exercises, and the guy that I'm with, he gets to do like something called like a silly dilly, where he gets to be silly, which I wouldn't want to do either. And then I had to do an orgasm, and I'm like, no, I don't want to fake now I have to have an orgasm, but he gets to like do some kind of like, it's like a slot machine where then he has to do something silly, and I'm like, oh, but I'm supposed to simulate that I'm having an orgasm in front of everybody? No.
Did you
And
didn't do it?
No.
Okay.
But like, I've done other horrible. I probably went home and fucked somebody to do the Alan Alda scene. Who knows? I mean, these acting classes are like cults.
And
The acting classes are like cults.
because they convince you that, again,
They have to break you
that's
down.
why I'm roller skating with the frog hat on, because they're like, then you don't really want it.
That's
You
right,
don't
and that's
want
why
it.
acting has become like a cult. That's why every woman can be convinced to show her tits in a movie or anything, because we
Or
believe
be Jennifer
that-
Aniston, wear this tiny
exactly.
Chanel top.
We've all done some dumb thing because we're taught to believe that if we don't, that we don't want enough, or we're not exposed enough, or we're not whatever enough.
Opening it, yeah.
And I do want to say this about it, and I want to say this about Nexium and this. At the base of all of it, I do think what the lesson she's teaching, I think, is good.
At the beginning.
At the very beginning.
Which is
to
what?
teach someone how to give someone an orgasm
Well, yes.
is a great thing.
Yes.
And to teach people where the clitoris is and to how to use it and how to do it, great. And Nexium had some good stuff too.
But you can also get that from a great porn. Like, I remember seeing a video of like how to give a great blowjob, and like, we played it on Bachelor.
all
But
there.
that's
like in the privacy.
Yeah.
Why? is
right.
it
That's what I'm
like-
saying. Right.
And,
Yeah.
and that you're doing that, and that you're wanting to see it, and then it was like very group sexy to like
Yeah.
we were all
Group
having
sex.
group sex.
The
Go on.
people who are all in it, and I was saying this about Nexium too, it's like everyone who's involved in this is so thirsty and desperate for attention and to be validated by the group of people, and they make this person a god, and they can't think for themselves, and it's everyone who's involved. It's like, I know she's a monster, but everyone involved with it are monsters
Well,
too.
they have the same psychosis. They all do.
Well, then,
And I would put whatever my monsterness is whatever.
Well-
we all have it, but that everyone involved in this stuff has something that they're there for a reason. And
I
it's
think they did a
horrendous.
really great job in telling the story in the documentary, because then she gets up there and they show clips of her saying things that are so wrong, but in a way make sense. Horrible, which is what a cult leader does.
Yep.
She says, you know, what I'm ready to give you guys all a shirt saying, I got raped and all I got was a victim story. haha. And it was like a couple of people laughed. It was weird. And then she says, my dad was a huge child molester, and he used me to recruit children for him to molest. But I don't hate him for that. I know that was just the beast that had to be fed. So feed the beast. So then women in the group were putting in situations where a guy would be like, I can be violent with you and I can demand sex with you because it's the beast within, and you have to accept that men are like that and that you like secretly want it. It was just the most complete non-feminine. It starts as a feminist thing. Know your orgasm, have your orgasm. You should have 5 a day, and guys should be stroking it in front of a class before you go to lunch. Right. Okay. To the end where it's like your body's just a vessel and we don't want you to leave because we're going to keep
You're not a
convincing
victim.
you.
You're not a victim that if you get raped isn't really rape because you are not a victim. Your power is in surrendering and leaning into it.
And
now it's not rape.
They wanted them to be turned on by the beast within the
Right.
man. He's feeding the beast, and you need to feed it rather than fear it. Be turned on by that. But of course, every girl there, and half of them are lesbians anyway, were like, yeah, no, I'm not really into it. I thought I was just going to lay here while you went like this for 15 minutes. Because that's all it is, this. Ding, 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 ding,
Right.
ding, 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 15 minutes. And I was like, okay. But I have watched porns like that. I can proudly say.
Okay.
Where the girl lays there and the guy just does that. And I can tell you that 15 minutes in, he has to get out a vibrator.
Okay.
So I'm going to call bullshit a little bit. Some of them were faking the orgasm meditations.
And also then
I
he
think.
has to fuck her. So that's also 15 minutes in. So this whole thing is, and that's why I knew from the beginning if there's men involved in the group, and it's not a judgment, it's just you're doing sex with men and women. You cannot convince me that after 15 minutes she has an orgasm and he's just going to what? Congratulations.
I know. What is he getting out of it?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's one thing
I kept saying, are they going to get there?
Yeah, I mean, give me a fucking
meditation.
break. If you're a couple and you're doing that, and you want, your partner wants to get you off or whatever, and that's the thing. Okay, fine. But you're not. There's no way these men are in a group so that they can fucking finger a girl and then go home and eat ice cream. There's no way. They're there to fucking fuck. Or get their dick sucked or whatever the fuck they're doing.
And then the girl, the main leader
it's
woman,
ridiculous.
she reveals like, I was a stripper, I was a call girl, I was a prostitute.
Yep.
There was this guy who just liked to choke me, and I was like, that's the beast within. Just let me live in the end, and we're good. I'm like, this is insane.
Insane.
I mean, can we recommend it? I don't think we can. It's really, if you're ready to just clench your vagina and put your head under a pillow, you can watch it. I don't know.
I don't want to be alone with it.
Can you imagine?
I want other people that be forced.
Also,
Annie, at least.
By the way,
Annie's not allowed to watch it.
Okay.
In the thing, there's like one couple, and she's like, I've never felt so seen. I spread my legs, and he said to me, your pussy looks like 2 tulips trapped in a wet blanket, or whatever it was. And she's like, oh, we're so intimate now. Can you imagine if somebody described your vagina to you? They'd get a punch in the face. 2, I am very sorry, but if I'm with someone and it's like, are we going to get down? And like, yeah, you want to? Yeah, consent is sexy. Sure is. Hold on. I'll be right back. Then get a towel, put it on the floor. Let me get a thing, put it on the floor.
Yeah.
And a thing. Now you're going to go on the floor like you're going to do yoga.
I know, it was like all like a yoga. It was like,
get a yoga mat.
What are you
It
doing?
was almost like a Lamaze class too, except for an orgasm. Like here's the 3 pillows,
Right.
And they had it all lined up. You know, when you go to a yoga class and they have the mat and they have like the 2 bricks, like if you want the 2 bricks and like a towel,
And the beanbag.
That's the way they set it out. Where multiple people were going to be sitting there and multiple guys at the same time were going to stroke the little thing.
Right.
Where you're just going to be like, hello, like I cannot. And then they had all these franchises. They're like, here's the Brooklyn one and here's the Oregon one. I'm like, oh my God, who are these? And then I looked around. I'm like, I guess these people just don't have. And then it's
Dates. They're dateless.
Right.
They were
I mean,
all
the guy-
in the middle ground where they
and then
couldn't
the
get a
one
date.
girl, they're
Right.
like, where she's like, tell us what you want. Tell us what you want. And then finally she's like, I guess I really want a baby. And then the leader's like, no, you don't. You want to have another orgasm. And she's like, oh, okay. Like,
in front of the group. Like, who? Wait, can you imagine?
Anytime they said they wanted something, she'd keep them going until they finally said, "I want to be an instructor." She's like, "Yeah,
I want a demo. I want to do an hour demo. I want to do a pussy demo, an hour pussy demo."
I mean, just
And then they
Outta
did
here.
weird things then they did some ritualistic stuff. Anyway,
It's
14
horrendous.
people did get together to file a lawsuit against
Okay.
Netflix
Good.
saying
Oh.
we were featured in it, we didn't want, but they have since dropped it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like, we were featured in it, so they dropped
This
it.
lady needs to go with Keith Raniere in a cell, and they can go fuck each other for the rest of time and die. You know what I mean?
She sold her steak. She lives on the land, and she sold her steak. That was the one thing documentary didn't do.
But now she's writing a book on cancel culture.
Oh, God.
Boo-hoo.
I mean,
and also as she
cancel
reveals, I'm like,
yourself.
you're like a sex worker who was molested. Like, why would you be, like, first one, she presents herself like you would think she was a professor that was teaching sexual anatomy.
Just like Nexium.
That's the way it starts.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, really, I was just, I'm a,
Go
you know.
watch Nina Hartley's how-to porn videos on how
That's
to
who I
do-
did. That's who I watched. That
Nina Hartley, she's the
Yeah.
one. She's the one. She'll do blowjobs. She'll do the vagina stuff. She's the best.
this girl said she was sad that she recruited, other children for her father who went to jail or prison for 52 counts of child molesting. He died in prison, and then she became a recruiter for adult molesters.
But she goes, I don't think there were any victims. Some people might disagree. She says that.
Unbelievable.
She's like, I don't think my dad did anything wrong because this was what was in him. So what do you? I mean, like completely justifying pedophilia. Like
She could justify
could not.
anything.
I hope this girl.
Yeah, she's rich.
Yep. She's
All
rich.
for money needs to
Still
be
is
taken
in
away.
the land, like in
Yeah.
California, with some weird people.
Yeah,
yeah.
But
Like
she
no,
sold her steak for
she
millions and millions of the stupid company.
So
which
the
still runs.
company still exists.
Yes.
How could that be possible?
They do it all virtually now, so that counts as consent, I guess. And then they all
Right.
just rub their clits on basically on the webcam to each other. Like, why don't you just go do a Pornhub? That's what you're doing.
God,
They want to believe they're doing something spiritual with wellness and connections. And it's so
Let's
gross.
get just to some normal, clean fun.
look.
Okay.
People's sexiest man alive, Chris Evans. You guys, I don't know. Is he? I guess he is. This magazine, this whole thing is so dumb that they still do this kind of. I guess it's again, the people that buy People magazine like this, and I think he is such a babe, and he's cute, and he's likable. My friend lives very close to him.
Where's that? Can we know the neighborhood? What's the neighborhood at least? Or the city?
And we have been doing a campaign for him to cross the street for a long time. I've done some posts about it. My friend is very beautiful. You know her. She has a little daughter.
Oh, okay, we know who it is.
And so anyway,
Well,
I don't know
he-
why he doesn't cross the street.
Allegedly, because he's down in a sex dungeon. So I will say that
He has a sex dungeon
I have I read a lot of blind items
about
and
Chris Evans.
and a lot of the blinds insinuate that because you never really hear about the relationships he's in. He was in one with Marcel the Shell, that chick.
Who's that? Sounds like
SNL.
Sell the show.
She does that little shell who's talks. It's a cute little thing that she.
But she's a comedian?
Yeah, she was on SNL. They did
Okay.
a movie together. The movie's really good.
The name of it. Her.
He dated her, but you never hear about anyone he's dating. That's never the thing that he's in the magazines for, ever.
Yeah.
He doesn't walk red carpets with people.
Jenny Slate.
Yeah, Jenny Slate.
Oh, that's right. Jenny Slate.
You should
oh,
watch
yeah.
Marcel the Shell. It's so cute and
Yeah.
funny. And they, the blinds, which are blind items, say that he's got like an alternative appetite sexually, and maybe he should go join One Taste, or Taste whatever, because he likes a BDSM moment. He's got a basement with his this is what they say. But I mean, I do think it's bizarre that he doesn't ever have a relationship on the books at all.
Wow. Okay. Well,
But our mutual friend may be down for a sex dungeon moment.
100%.
I think she's up for a good fun time.
100%.
Yeah.
She is not. She's not going to be difficult. She'll cook. She'll clean. She'll do it all. Let me see if there's
You
anything
better start
else I
crossing
wanted
that street then.
to cover. Did you guys? Did you watch? Love. What was it called? Lies. What's this one called?
Tell me lies.
Did you watch Tell Me Lies?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Oh, they're a real couple. Did you know that? The main two leads are a real couple.
I had no idea.
So Grace Van Patten, who is Eileen Davidson from Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is her niece.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And then he is Katie Seagal's son.
Yeah.
And so they're two Nepo babies that did a show together and now are in love. And she wrote here, he wrote, "If we kiss, can we get a season 2?" Kind of a thirsty thing to say.
Very thirsty.
But
I only looked at it because
I'm not
going to
be watching. By the way, I'm not going to be watching season 2.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I only looked because
This is called Tell Me Lies, and the only reason I watched it is because this one, Annie, saw a poster and said, "Oh, that book is really." I go, "What is that about?" She goes, "It's based on a book. I read it. It's so good." Her boyfriend sleeps with her mother. She finds out that her boyfriend sleeps with her mother. So I watch 8 episodes of this book that's been adapted for film.
Yeah.
None of her boyfriends slept with her mother.
Oh.
Not yet. Not yet.
And now,
He will if they get to season 2.
Well, I'm out. I don't fucking care. I'm like, the only reason I'm watching
not.
kids that are, this guy looks like he's 35 with a receding hairline and he's playing a 20-year-old.
Exactly.
Fucking all these girls. I'm like, all right, when do you fuck the mom? Like, where does this happen?
Well,
And now it's over with. And I'm like, I've wasted so much of my time.
Beyond. She was in 9 Perfect Strangers. Remember that?
Yeah.
With Nicole Kidman. She was the
Which one was she?
girl wandering around who was too young to be in that show. But I wanted to see what Katie Seagal's like, and then the guy from, I guess, what's the motorcycle show? Because I started
Sons of
watching
Anarchy.
that garbage too. As I wanted to see what the son looked like, and then I was just like,
is he the son of like that husband?
I think so.
Oh,
I mean, I assume so. And then Katie Seagal's in it as his mom.
Yeah.
So that and it is. I mean, I personally did you watch it, Annie? I don't think it's done.
No, she didn't even watch it because she's like, I read the book, which was apparently way fucking better.
I don't even know how
I wasted my
so
time. I
dumb.
got
Like it's for
sucked
young
in.
people, maybe.
I know. I
get
got
it.
sucked in. At first, I kind of liked it because I liked how they portrayed like how a guy like
a toxic
cheats and
relationship?
justifies it
Yeah.
and stuff. I thought that was sort of an interesting thing we hadn't seen. But
Jack White is his father. Is that the guy from Sons of Anarchy?
oh, I don't know. Look it up.
It's the guy from White Stripes, but I don't think that's the same Jack White.
Are you guys familiar with The Staircase?
Yes.
I follow his son, Todd Peterson, Michael
What the-
Peterson's son.
That's his actual son?
What are we
Yes.
looking at here, Heather? This is
What did he do here?
this is. I think read the room, maybe Todd, since
Your mom
got bashed in the
murdered
face
in
by a
the
bird
staircase?
or whatever it
What
was.
the hell?
Well, according to the person that sent this to me, this is the summary because the stories were a lot and uncomfortable to watch. So Todd went to Ibiza and he claimed that some men in Ibiza broke into the condo he's staying at and beat him up. The story is suspect though because the door was locked, so they had to have a key. But then he says they must have thrown the prostitute he hired. They must have known the prostitute he hired, so it was a trap. But he never alleged he was robbed. I don't think, just beat up. And then he goes on rants about how he hates the men in Spain and uses slurs every 15 seconds.
About Spanish
Anyway,
guys.
he has a really good body, and I guess he's on OnlyFans.
What the?
Oh,
and
he's
he
doing
looks and
OnlyFans with
sounds
prostitutes.
So much like
The dad?
Michael Peterson, but like better looking.
Weird.
Is he the son that was in trouble for the?
He's the son that was really cute, that was played by Maria and Arnold's son.
That had the legal issues, though, right? Because the son had legal issues in real life. Remember one of them?
No, one of them had legal issues and like
But it wasn't the hot one.
did prison. No,
okay.
he was the hot one that had an alcohol problems, but he was hot.
But he now is going to have legal issues.
And now he has OnlyFans, and he like wields a Ford around and like takes photos in front of a Porsche or a Corvette.
And does he hire prostitutes to do his OnlyFans?
According to his stories, that's what they said, but the stories are gone now, so this is all alleged. But these videos of him showing his beat up face in Ibiza are still on his Instagram
And laughing.
and laughing about it. Very weird. I don't even know why I shared that part, but it's the end of the show, so who fucking cares? Girls,
Weird.
tell me what you're doing with your life. What's next?
What are we doing with our life?
What is next?
We're going to go to Antarctica.
I know.
We're going to Antarctica in December, but we are not going to Antarctica until we go to your Christmas party.
That's right.
That's right. And
That was the best steak we've ever had. I mean,
I
can't wait to eat that steak
I had
again.
to move my Christmas party because you guys couldn't come. And but I think I have a better night. And then if everybody else can't come, it's okay. At least you guys are there.
I want you
All
to know
worked out.
it will cost you approximately $750 less than it did last year because we won't be drinking as much this year. And I know
Why?
I probably drank at least $700 worth of martinis.
Why can't you
myself.
drink?
Well, we're going to drink, responsibly, like
Okay.
normal people, like you. You know what I mean?
Like 1 or 2 martinis,
Yeah.
2 glasses of wine
Yeah.
at dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's just because, and we're leaving the next day, but it will help us just to keep it more classy. Because we had to leave last year because I got too drunk.
I know you missed the group photo. So we'll do the group photo early on. I always like to get the photo shoot out first.
Yeah.
That's smart.
And then if you want to, squiggle away, whatever.
Is there going to be anyone new additions? Have you?
Yes, I have some confirmations of some people. It's going to be hopefully star-studded. And then I have to, it's the private room. So I want to make sure I have enough people that it's worth the private room. So it's not like weird and there's too few people.
Yeah.
But I can't be too many people because then we can't fit in the private room.
Right.
So I'm kind of feeling it out first. Then I'll decide who gets it.
It's going to be right here. It's going to come sooner than we know it.
It's right around the corner.
Yes.
It's right around the corner. We got
Girls, listen to your podcast, Dumb Gay Politics.
Mm-hmm.
Check out their Patreon, which is totally different than the Dumb Gay Politics show. The Dumb Gay Politics is liberal. So if that is going to get you unnerved, then I'd suggest you don't listen. But you can still enjoy the giggles and the fun on the Patreon. And where do they go to find all that?
JulieandBrandy.com.
That's great. Right, you guys have really gotten it together finally.
We're getting it together. In the Patreon, we don't do any politics. We don't talk about anything like that. It's just literally like nothing.
Your life and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
fun.
stories and songs and weird shit.
Thank you so much for coming, girls.
Thank you for having us again. Let's all go have an Om session. Your pussy looks like 2 rafts that are going down a whitewater river. Beautiful. Like exploding.
I am sorry for that.